funny on the other app. Wait, let me fix it quickly. Just in case we have a clip which goes viral. And they'll be like, oh, that one. Hi. There's nothing I can do, guys. It looks funny, it looks fun. Didn't kill anyone's child in me. Anyway. Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Madam. I know, guys. My head looks fun. Wait. Ish, you see all those magulas things? The head was fine. Ish, guys. Okay, let me do the live. Let me just forget about the head and do the live, okay? Welcome to my channel. Okay, wait, let me fix this one quickly. Guys, will I be serious in this live, Mar? For today, I need to be serious, okay? Okay, now I'm serious. I am dead serious. I can do it arstak war. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Marimini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. You are on Losing in Love podcast with Madam Speaker. We do these lives every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central African time. And obviously we do some random lives here and there as and when the need arises. But this one, of the Thursday, of the 7 p.m., it is mandatory. Unless otherwise life happens. We must always, have room for life happening because we are the living. You get what I mean? Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I want to say big shout out to my new members who are on YouTube. I had, in my head, I wrote their names down. And then when I come to this live, the idea was to read their names out loud one by one. But because it all ended in my head, unfortunately, I don't have the names with me. But I just want to say thank you so much for the people who are joining in for membership. I know that some people only joined in membership now because of the episode Pusing, Awesome Pusing, who was infected by HIV, who got multiple STIs, got cancer, cervical cancer, had a womb removed, and the man left her. That story is actually one of the reasons why people are joining in for membership, because that episode is only available for members only for now. It's going to be available for everybody on Sunday, normal time. So if you're just a subscriber, the live is the episode is going to be available for you on Sunday. But if you are a member, if you've joined for membership, then definitely the episode is available to you. I just want to say, for those who have joined in for membership, to say, listen, in as much as maybe some of you did it for that episode specifically, or the future perks that you're going to be getting from being members, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because the reason why I even had to open up membership is so that we can help the Madam Speaker Foundation. We are starting from zero. I believe that by now you know that I'm an activist. I'm a social activist, and I speak for women. I try my level best to help women where I can. And as Madam Speaker Foundation, we are literally starting from zero, and every cent that could come in from the subscriptions and the joint members of the YouTube channel, that can go a long way, because then it makes it easy for us to help other people and also to improve our content. So a big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for whatever reason that you joined, whether you joined in because you believed in the vision or you joined in because you just love the content that I put out there. I thank you so much. I do not take every single one of you for granted. So yeah, big shout out. Thank you so much. And for those who have not yet joined for membership, if you would really love to support the channel so that we can grow and also so that we can help other people who are in need because of the activism work that I'm doing, please do join in so that every cent that you put in there can actually help other people. I see him posting, but when are we going to blacksam that man, Gandhi? The thing is, there are so many men that we can blacksam if we're gonna start blacksamming men. I always say that in most cases, the one thing that we as women to women, we have to acknowledge the fact that we contribute to some of the things that happen to us. Like, we give a room for performance for these people to perform. You understand? We agree to become an audience. We stay longer than we shouldn't, simply because we just believe in certain things. So I think if we can start just by detoxing and ditching a lot of things that we believe in because they don't work, then we won't need to be blackshaming everyone, because when we choose ourselves and we love ourselves and we safeguard our hearts and ourselves, then we will then not be victims always. You get what I mean? But anyway, all in all honesty, today is just one of those days where I do not have a topic. I'll tell you the reason why I don't have a topic. The reason why I don't have a topic today is because there's a lot that is going on. Yo, there is a lot, Bazalwani. There is a lot that is going on. I am so overwhelmed with everything that is happening. Thank you so much. So I've decided that because I don't have a topic, let's just have either a debriefing session, I don't know, something session, or we can come up with a topic, because obviously an hour is a long time, and obviously, one of these unplanned lives where we don't even have a specific topic, they're always fire. So if you know that, or you feel like you want us to talk about something which is relevant to what we've been speaking about lately, you're more than welcome to suggest a topic. And the reason why I'm saying that people should suggest a topic is because, guys, like, I'm so overwhelmed. If you check my timeline, I am super overwhelmed by the stuff that I've been putting out there. Like, there are so many things that I put out there this week. I don't even know which one to pick and say this is what we should be speaking about. If you want us to talk about the consequences of cheating, if you have an experience that you would like to share, I think maybe we should start there, where we can start with somebody who actually has an experience on one of the things, an experience which is relatable to one of the things that we've been speaking about during the course of the week. You are more than welcome to request to join, and then we can follow that trace. But if we don't have, then we can just, we already have Tima here. Yo, guys, I have not seen Tima in a long time. I hope you're good, my darling. I saw you.
Is it long time?
It's been a while. I've not seen you in months.
Lord.
Where
How
have
you
you
doing?
been?
I must be really yeah, it's been a long time because I travel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I went
But
on
but I
vacation
did
just
slide in your DMs, to say, hey
uh,
sis. I did. But
yeah.
also, I want to hear your thoughts, Netima, about the video that you duetted, of the episode which is airing this coming Sunday, of a lady who said that she's 50 years old now. You can see when you look at her that, yeah, she's a a well-seasoned woman.
Experienced woman. Yeah.
Yes, she's an experienced woman. She got married young. If you like, you'll see probably the episode when it airs. She's got a lot of traumatic experiences. Like, she was raped by her stepfather when she was, still young. She had to have an abortion because it's a disgrace in the family. From there to running into marriage, she got married while she was young, to her now being in this marriage with this man who's been abusing her and also cheating like nobody's business, to a point where she had multiple STIs. She got HIV. The multiple STIs now turned into cervical cancer. It could not be treated in time. She had to have her womb removed. And now this man said he can't stay with a man. You understand what I mean? That is the thank you she gets for tolerating a cheating bastard. A plate full of cow dung, my sister. You understand? So I saw you duetting that, so I know you have a lot to say. So the platform is yours. I want to hear your thought.
But first of all, before I go there, let me ask you, because you are the one in, like, so every time I see you do all this show, right? For real, I'm not even saying this because I'm on your platform. So every time when I pray and you come to my mind, I pray for you.
Oh, thank you so much,
I
sis.
pray for you because, like God is your strength. Because I don't know where, girl, I will get so wrapped up,
I'm telling you.
because it takes a lot. It can take a lot from you as a host, because you have to, like, really intensely listen to this story, right? I mean, we just come on your side here. We're on the other side of your side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are in it with them when they are telling the story, right? And in my mind, like, yo, Madam Speaker, yo, like,
sis, let me tell you.
Go ahead. Because I really go ahead.
On that, what you are just saying now, I actually, all along, I never really took much, into consideration what it takes out of me when I sit with these women. But when I saw, there's this other one, I don't know, there's a South African sneaker brand wife that I interviewed, that took my soul out of me. Then I realized that I think maybe I'm just downplaying some of these episodes, because majority of them, they need a heart. The amount of praying that we did before we aired that episode and after we aired that episode, and now when I'm looking back and I'm looking at all these stories that we've been doing, I realize that they actually do take a lot from me. I didn't realize until, I think with that lady specifically, because it was like, it went viral, it was trending all over South Africa. I think because I was so overwhelmed, that's when I realized, when I look back, I'm like, actually, this thing actually takes a lot out of me. And I thank God that the birth of the podcast happened the same time where I really was now taking my spiritual life very seriously, and I really wanted to entirely and completely depend on God, for strength, because I do realize that liberating one woman is liberating a generation, meaning that you are playing in the lion's den, in the devil's camp. You understand what I mean? So I need to work on my spiritual well-being and train my muscle, because the devil is not going to be happy with me allowing women to come and speak, and then they liberate their children and their children's children. That's just playing with fire if you don't have anything that you depend on. So I do agree with you that it takes a lot out of me. But yeah, I think I appreciate the
Yeah.
prayers.
Thank you. Thank you. Because my next question was gonna ask you how you doing, because really, like, we all come here, we dump everything, and everybody go by their way. You don't go anywhere. You continue the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that you kind of recognize that, and you are taking time.
And therapy. I'm a big fan of therapy. Yeah.
Yeah, but just know that you have a lot of people that we are praying for you, and we send you strength hugs. We blow you kisses every time. God is your strength, and thank you so much. On behalf of for all the people that been to your show, for someone like me that I believe it or not, I pick from your life to kind of apply to my life. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. It takes, like, even though you are the only person that you are doing it, it's almost like you are doing it for millions.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so much.
one of those millions. Okay, thank you so much. So
You
to the
looking for it?
question,
Okay, cool.
like, I don't think there's, if I have to speak anything to this, like, today, I always tell people that if you find yourself in an abusive relationship, and like you said, sometimes the longer you stay, the more damage comes after that, and I know when you are in it, because those moments, they always come in a very subtle way. It's not like, when you are telling the story, you almost feel like everything happened in one day. No, this thing may happen in a period of time, like years, and there's gonna be big moments and small moments, and then those moments, sometimes they're so subtle, even though your body is telling you this is not right. There's gonna be a voice that will say, it's not big deal. Time heal, okay? Time will heal, And then before you know, years roll out. Emotionally, you're already damaged. You're on the floor already, and then physically, you are just tired. Like, and then you like almost want to give up. Like, maybe it's not that bad. And then it depends on your how much you can tolerate.
Yeah.
Then if you manage to hit your rock bottom, then that's when you would like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to be here. I gotta go. Right? So for people who hopefully they get to where they hit the rock bottom, because I always said, until you hit that rock bottom, it will not matter what your abuser did to you. You go back. They always go back.
Yeah.
But once you hit your rock bottom, then that is when you find new strength within you that you didn't even know it was there waiting for you all this time. That is only time that you now be ready to rescue yourself. Until you want to rescue yourself, there's no amount of anybody in this world that can rescue you.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And that is the difficult part of it. So for those people that are already in their rock bottom, believe it or not, once you get there, the answer will come.
Yeah.
The answer will come. And, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get yourself not out of there, away from that situation, right?
Yeah.
When my time came, when I reached...
Just hold on for me, Tima. My brother. Sorry. Do you know what you are looking for? Do you know where it is? When last did you see it? Because what you are doing now is a problem. Please, thank you. You have 1 hour, 30 minutes. You're only starting now. The time now is 7:30. By 8:30, you should be done. Okay. Sorry about that, Dima. I have a brother here. He's turning 10 this year, so.
And we all have that touch, brother.
So he's busy distracting me. He's busy looking for stuff. Yeah. So yeah, he found what he's
That's
looking
funny.
for. Yeah.
But as I was saying that, I remember when I reached my rock bottom, this is 14, 15 years later, right? You just woke up one day, you get sick, tired of being sick and tired, like, just, so I made a list, okay? I made a list. On my list, there is something as big as I need to go check myself out. I need to go and do all the whatever sexual, whatever disease out there. I need to go do that. That was, I remember it was on my list. And then there's the most simpler things there that I need to cut my hair. Okay. And I'm just giving 2 out of those things that I felt like I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I cut my hair. Okay. And then I went to the doctor and I go get checked out. I remember this doctor, I never seen her before. That was my first time with her. And I remember getting there that day and I said, so I went there as I want to do, because I was due for physical checkup anyway. So I said, with my physical checkup, I want to do this and this and this and this and this, anything sexual related diseases. And the first question, this woman, it was an African American. The first question she asked me was, "What kind of job you do, man?" I was like, this is my profession, this and that. Like, so why do you need all these, tests?
All these checks, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to let her know, like, this is my situation, and I'm ready to walk away. But if I'm gonna walk away, I want to know what am I walking away with.
Sure.
You see? Oh, and then she looked at me, she's like, "Oh wow, okay." I said, "Well, that's exactly what we're gonna do." So that's what I did. So I did that test. So usually, when in the states where I live, when you do that test, they can just call you on the phone and they say, the doctor said, you are free, whatever the case. If they ask you to come in, just know there's something, right? I remember this nurse called me. It was 8 p.m. at night. Said, "Oh, so all your tests came back, but the doctor wants to see you in her office as early as possible the next day." Hey.
You didn't even sleep, my sister.
Hey, I was out the whole night.
Hey.
A million things is going through my head. And talk about regret, talk about why did I have to stay this long. Anyway, the morning time came. I went to that clinic before they opened it. I was by the door before they opened. And when I got there, I get to see the doctor. And you know how you see with the doctor and they are instead of you to just give you whatever you came for, they are telling you. So I go, your test, I say, "Ma'am, tell me the test that you want. Tell me, what do I have? What do I have?" And she said, "Sister, the good news is you don't have anything." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "No, you don't have." I said, "So why do you want me to come in?" And she said, "Listen, the reason why I want you to come in is so many women like you have walked into my clinic, did the same test, they score free, and they rejoice for a moment, and before you know, they go right back to the same situation." And she said, "I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do in your life, but maybe this time you are lucky. If whatever the story you told me, if those stories were true, just know this time you are lucky. Because if you intend to go back, you might not be this lucky. That is why I want you to come in."
Sure.
Madam Speaker, I collected my result. I put my result in the folder. I still have that folder somewhere in my house up to today as a reminder to what would have been. Okay? So I go home for everything on my list, step by step. It took me a whole year. Step by step, I did what I have to do to make sure. Now, this time I'm talking about, I've already removed myself emotionally. Well, maybe I removed myself emotionally like few years before then. I removed myself physically, okay? Because I ain't playing. He downstairs, I'm upstairs. I ain't, just try again. And in my situation, because it's safe for me to do so. It's safe for me like that to do so. Again, if it's not safe for you that you have to leave immediately, sister, please leave immediately. Okay, in my situation, it was safe for me to do so. But it took me a year of me just being, I stayed still, I stayed calm, I listened. Whatever I had to do, was the most difficult thing I ever have to do in my adult life. I'm not gonna lie. It was the most difficult thing. But I did it. And I stepped out. I came out, and I don't have any regret doing it. I never look back. I don't share space with this person. I forgive him long before I left. I was able to do that much work because on my list, again, let me put one more thing on my list to continue with my therapies, okay? That was on there. So I continue with that as well. So even before I left, I was able to forgive him to some point that there's nothing that you can do that can trigger me, So I've managed to control myself. I've managed to control my emotion. I've managed to be responsible for my emotion. You understand what I mean? So all of those things, because all of those things takes work. To get to that, it takes a lot of work, and you have to be really intentional about it, like literally. Maybe you have to write it down. Maybe you have to say it to yourself. Because a lot of time I have to say to myself, like, you cannot do this and that. You know what is gonna come out of there. I self-dialogue myself because it's like if I don't have anybody to say to me, I have to be responsible to say to me. So if my friend is acting a fool in front of me, I'm gonna say to her, so let me be my own friend if I'm acting fool right now, and be my own friend and correct me as well. You know what? You know how that mind game thing playing.
Yeah.
So I had to do all of that. And thank God today, everybody's being where they've been. You know what I mean? Everybody's living their life. Is it difficult to having to like share, like the keys have to be shuffled back and forth? Of course it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do I have to say because of that, maybe I should stay? Absolutely not. No. It does not want it. I'm just glad that everybody is doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
At this point.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this topic of us just having to safeguard our health as women to make sure that we are never, affected or infected. It's a thing that we downplay a lot, especially when we are in denial, because the sad part or the unfortunate part is that these cervical cancers that we as women get because of these infections, men hardly ever have them, and that's just sad. It's sad that they are the carriers of these STIs, and we are the ones who have to suffer that. And in all honesty, I always say that if I were to stay with a cheating man, or if I were to be sick one day, honestly, I would rather I bring the sickness to myself. You understand what I mean? I would rather wake up one morning and check and find that I'm sick, and when I trace back, I remember that it was because of my own doing. You get what I mean? Not that I'm sitting here and I'm loyal to this man, and then the next thing, the sickness. I think that would kill me.
That would kill me too. That would kill me too, for real. Like, because it's almost like, there's something that we say in my language, like, I don't even know how to interpret this in English, like, but it's almost like saying, if I'm in my home, managing my life, I'm not looking for any trouble from anywhere, and then somebody's just gonna go look for trouble, and bring it to me and give it to me for free. I'm not even like, are you kidding me?
Let me tell you something, Tima. I think that is the reason why when there's a sickness in the marriage, because after I spoke to that lady and I posted that shot, a lot of women came forward and they were crying. Obviously because such topics are sensitive, they speak to me like privately, so I can't disclose. You get what I mean? But a lot of women came forward and they were crying, saying, listen, the story that happened to this woman actually happened to me. I was sitting at home. I was a loyal wife. This man brought me diseases. This man brought me sicknesses. That is sad, because for me, I feel like the reason why these men are not remorseful after they discover that they left you with a sickness is because, in as much as, yes, they can be in denial, they can beat themselves up about it, but they know what they did. You know, so that's why
Of
we get to a
course.
point where you see this man, you're like, this man is heartless. No, 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 no. This man is not heartless. This man is calculative, because this
Yeah.
man is a thief. This man knew
Yeah.
what he was doing from day one. And you, on the other hand, you are only applying emotion now. Palawana, you are only applying emotion now because you are only discovering now that you've been staying with this person who's been cheating on you, who's been lying to you, who's not been loyal to you. So it's a
Yeah.
shocker for you. So your response or your reaction towards discovering what this man has actually brought to you is not going to be the same as the reaction that he's going to have when he discovers that you guys are sick. He's going to be like, is it Mary? Is it Tima? Is it Perseverance? Who could it be?
Alright.
But at least he's got
Yo.
options of looking at people who could have possibly brought him this sickness.
I know.
You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And you,
Yeah.
on the other hand, you're only looking at one guy. I remember I had this story of this other lady who was also crying, saying that the husband brought him HIV, né? and
Yeah.
and the husband was like, how can you prove that I'm the one that brought it? What if you were
There you
also
go.
cheating? You know, that's a man who has already given up because he knows what he did. He knows that he's paying for his sins. But what about you, on the other hand? What are you paying for?
What are you paying for? Exactly. I mean, you just been from just being a good wife and loyal wife. Maybe not a good wife, but you've been a loyal wife, right? But here you are. Here you are. Somebody through their own carelessness.
Yeah.
Now they kind of drag you in. And you know, somebody asked a question on one of the platform like, how many chances you gonna give to a guy like if he cheat on you, this and that, you know? And you know, the unfortunate part of that question was most women, including myself, yeah, especially if there was no any previous experience before, like maybe in your first marriage, and the moment you realize that your spouse is checking, is stepping out, I've never seen a woman that did the first time, even after you find out that they step out. Even, you know, it's almost like you are looking for, maybe you want to catch them red-handed or something. I don't know. You know, it's so ridiculous because it's like, and then even after you know, like, okay, maybe it's gonna change, you know, or maybe yeah, these women they won't leave. I mean, even it's really, Madam Speaker, the kind of excuses, and I'm looking back at my life, like I cannot believe in my adult age giving all kind of excuses like, oh, maybe I need to do more. Maybe I need to, you know, wear these. Or maybe I need to. I mean, instead of looking inward, I was busy looking outward of the situation, hoping that this person is gonna get it. You know, he's gonna go sick of them, and then he's gonna stay home. Man,
You've been
by the
giving
time
him
you
so
find
much grace. Oh. Hey, you should be gracious. Your name should be gracious.
I know, right? I said, you know, he's gonna be so sick of them. And then somebody told me, he said, you know, when you see men who are so busy outside, the moment you see them that they now want to rest, it's that two things. It's either they're not working no more, or they, you know, something terrible happened to them out there, like they couldn't recover from it. Other than that, they
No,
will continue
like
doing
guys,
it.
if you're a wife, somebody's asking me if I'm live on TikTok. Yeah, I'm live on TikTok and YouTube. If you are a wife to a man who's a Casanova, you have to make peace with the fact that you are his grave. You are his dying place. He's gonna come back to you when he's ready to die. So you might as well just open an old age home or a sickness home. That's what you are. Because he's gonna come back to you when he's sick and he's ready to die, and you're gonna nurse him because that's what you deserve. You get what I mean?
And you're going to receive him, the sad part.
And you will
Evening,
receive him.
ladies.
Hi, darling.
You know, the saddest part about all that you guys are talking about is even when you attend these sessions wherein women are trying to empower each other in marriage, they will tell you cheating is not a deal breaker. You can sit and stand because they're not looking into the terrible side effects that come with saying that I will stay in my marriage. I'm not going to let everything fall apart just because he's having a few affairs here and there, forgetting that what he brings home is dreadful to you. Not only psychologically, but physically, because your health is going to deteriorate 10 times faster than he is, because you are going to be at a shock.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, what happened? You are going to go through all those stages of denial and might not even end at the acceptance part. But he's already at the acceptance because he has been going through it this
While
whole
you were
time.
there.
Someone out there found out on his behalf and they shared it with him. And he wasn't happy because he needed to blame it on the person who brought up the info. But by the time you discover, because he's not going to tell you, he has already made peace with everything. He had the first person and the second person who were curious enough to find out about what's going on with them, maybe because they were very sick, and then they found out they had to share it with him. But he kept his mouth shut when it comes to you, the loyal one, who is saying, I will not end my marriage because my man is having a few marital affairs here and there. Can't you know you are going to go through the worst when discovering that it was not just a few STIs that you had, but there was more.
Sure. It's quite sad, you know. I remember I once saw a story where a lady was saying, right here on our lives, where a lady was saying that she discovered that her husband has a second home. I think it goes back to the issue of touching each other's phones to say, you will be shocked to find that your entire husband has an entire family somewhere else, and you are just here with your own family, and by the time you discover that he has a family, he says to you, listen, I'm gonna be taking what do you call this, polygamy. I'm gonna take the second wife now. By the time you are still dealing with the shock and everything, he's already over it. He's waiting for you to finish playing your theatrics so that you can accept your sister wife. You understand what I mean? So that's exactly what happens when you get sick. Because the one who is aware that they are not playing it safe, they already know what they're gonna bring. So they are ready. So when it hits, to them it's not much of a shocker that it is going to be to you, because in as much as you are in denial, you are hoping and you are praying to God, Father, Papa God, please, even if he is cheating on me, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, can he not catch the sickness? Hey, Melissa,
I shall fear no evil.
I shall fear no evil.
Unless one is going, hi Melissa, sorry. Unless one is going to say, cheating is not a deal breaker for me. They are going to be on PrEP and PEP, and what do they call for this? They have these treatments for cervical cancer. You must be on any other pill to say, I am going to be taking care of my health whilst I wait for this man for his health to deteriorate because he's having all these affairs, and he shall come back and I'll take care of him later on.
Jesus.
Unless you're going to be on that, I think cheating should be something that we think hard on, not just because of what the community is going to say about your cheating husband, but because of what you're going to go through when yourself, mentally and physically, with your health.
I hear you, babes.
So my man,
Hi, Melissa.
Madam Speaker, and hello to everyone. I just wanted to chip in to say, just to share my point of view with regards to this, right? I think being a woman, right, the way the way God made us, right, it's made it very difficult for us, unfortunately, to be in relationships, right, with men, and with the mindset and how they were actually, birthed. I always say I can't wait until, we meet God, because the first thing I'm just going to ask, or the first thing I'd be curious is, just to find out how he actually went about creating the male mind, right, in contrast to the female mind, right. We've seen this with our parents, right. This has gone a long decades ago, right. Mama Betu, they used to be in like polygamy. I mean, I myself remember my grandfather, they always used to make a joke that he's got a woman somewhere, though we've never seen that woman, though we've never had been in his temple as a family, but it just goes to show, Guti, men, this is something that is in their nature, right? And also with us ladies, I don't think ladies stay just because they don't love themselves. And I'm speaking from my own point of view.
Yes,
there are things that I thought I would never stand for in my marriage. But, when I actually went through those things and I experienced those things, unfairness from a partner, I still, stayed. And I think that is because of how we were just, made, and how we were just created by God. For example, you'll never see a lady. It's very rare that ladies are going to, complain ukuthi, or men to complain ukuthi, their partner whose female is not protecting them from their family. We ladies, automatically protect our men from our families, right? You'll never hear ukuthi a man is actually being, disrespected by the female's family. Whereas with men, it can happen, right? Also, I think it also stems from, this issue, your baby mama, right? The reason women stay, right? I mean, as a mother, because you're a woman, it's in you to stay, right? That's how it also is when it comes to relationships as well. We don't want to stay because us is handy, but the way that literally God has created us, it sometimes forces us to stay. Of which I wish myself, right, I could, I knew the tricks, and and I always respect people who actually leave, people who divorce, and people who actually start over. I always say I respect those people because it's not easy to leave. And I think, Madam Speaker, you'll attest to this. And then lastly, it's just for us to really just understand that while we speak about this topic, Uguti, really, we really not like men. I mean, online as well, there are ladies who we know, who we look up to, yourself as well, Madam Speaker, right? There are those who have actually stayed, who are still in toxic marriages, and I don't think those ladies don't love themselves, but it's just the nature, man, in a woman, right? That staying, and how we actually need to think for the other. And in closing, our parents also go through, I mean, not just grandfathers now, it's something that happens now, right? Also, when a man, right, the retires, they go by level with ladies, whereas the woman is still going to stay and build her home. So it's just unfortunate that it really makes it difficult for us to be selfish. I mean, even if I fight with my husband now, I'll be so angry, but literally tomorrow I'll still be taking care of him and being, a wife to him. So yeah, our nature shame is difficult and so unfair. And I wish there were ways that we could, just be sisikwazi nathi ube nesesibindi that you guys have to say, what, I'm going to stand my ground. And I think it takes a lot to do that. It just takes being mindful and loving yourself and choosing to love yourself every day, and actually being intentional about saying, what, I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to be selfish in some situations. And if you need to then get to a stage where you need to leave, it really, really takes a lot. It's like a root being ripped off the ground from a tree. So that's just my 2 cents.
I appreciate you, my darling. I can see people are already getting heated up because they are disagreeing with what you are saying. And for me, the highlight of what you are saying is, this is my interpretation of what you just shared with us now. I know Lalo, she's probably holding her mouth with a peg like this so that she does not open it because she wants to open it. But in what you have shared right now, I'm hearing that women tolerating things like being cheated on or being more accommodative of these treatments that they're getting from men. In your interpretation, that's just how we were made. That's just how we were created by God. We are now saying, from creation, we were created with this tolerance.
Care, extra care and extra love, ukubekezela is in our nature.
Yeah.
And so for you, ukuthi ungabekezeli for izinto nonsense in a relationship will take you to actually be mindful of and be intentional about saying, okay, it's in my nature ukubekezela, but for this, andizubekezela.
Yesandla sami Melissa, yazi ndiyakuthanda va. I just want to understand this part, Wuti. When did we discover that we have this extra care? Or is it being shoved down our throats so that we must be made to believe that we have extra care so that we must tolerate nonsense? I mean, I just want to understand,
I've
Wuti.
experienced it myself. I'm not a person to be pushed over, right?
Okay.
I've got a bold personality. I love myself very much. I don't have, insecurities, well, it's at least in myself, or that area. I realized it when I said, okay, there are things that I would never, stay for and tolerate in my marriage, right? And it's not cheating yet, right? But when I experienced those things, I was like, you know what? This was supposed to be a deal breaker. Melissa, you're actually supposed to be out of here. Melissa, this is something that you said you would never win. And it's something that you actually used to judge others who were before you off, right? I've got an entire family. They are married. I'm the last born. So I used to see these things. I had people that I could learn from, right, in my route. So that's when I decided, man, I would want to leave. Yeah, but I don't know what he don't land. I don't know, maybe if it's not self-love, guys, I think you guys can help me, like,
You know what I think, my darling, ne?
establish it. But I think also, man, even if, like, I'm going to make a simple example. If I have a disagreement with my partner and I'm like, you know what, I really want to punish this one, I last, right? Because of my nature.
I've been
I'll
there.
do it today, I'll do it tomorrow, but angikwazi ukungcolela because it's in my nature and mama at the end of the day, you know.
I've been
So
there, darling, ne? And I want to give you this little exercise. If somebody does injustice to you the same way that your husband did, you would make sure that you punish them. This extra care and extra love that we have, ne? It's in my own I don't know how I see it. It's not extra care and extra love. If when somebody does the same thing to you, say maybe at your workplace, they do something which is an injustice to you, you would make sure you see it through. You make sure you see it through. But when it comes to a husband specifically, then you ask yourself, this extra care, that is it not leaving the house? Or what is it? Because if you are saying that God has created us with extra care, we should be able to carry this extra care everywhere we go. Meaning that if there are certain things that we should tolerate, we should tolerate them everywhere we go. But if we're going to say it's extra care, but it's only applicable to this one person, surely there's something that we need to deal with. You understand that? Lalo, I know you've been meaning to speak, my darling. Do you want to say something to Melissa?
Yes, yo. I had a problem with the word that's how we were created.
Okay.
Now, I want to say I totally refuse. I disagree. 130% disagree. It's not how we were created. It's the conditioning. And I'm not sure who conditioned you, but you have conditioned yourself and allowed it. And you want to justify it by saying, Ndingumama, I just care more. It's not the same. Like what Percy has been saying, that if it's caring, it should be an all-rounder thing. You should be able to do it to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Everyone else should be able to get the same. Should be receiving the same courtesy if that's how you were created. But it's not created. It's not from creation, it's from conditioning, because the certain people who will never experience that. Everyone else should be able to get
okay, sorry.
Should be receiving the same courtesy if that's how you were created.
I think
that is true. Someone commented here. I think that's my last point. I agree with you, Lalo, and thank you so much for helping me clarify that. For me, someone commented here. We weren't born that way. We were raised to act that way, and I think this is true because of my background. Right? I think I've just gotten my answer from you guys, from your argument now, and I think I realize, right? It's just the conditioning and the way okulangayo that no, you know what? And so you can't just leave for into age. I think that is the answer. I think that is my answer.
And also, Chuba, if you are getting to a point wherein now you are even saying usuke emtshatweni, that means you have put yourself in a spot wherein you are in comparison. You are comparing yourself to others and not knowing the full nitty-gritties of what they were truly going through, or what were their conditions. So because you have that background, yoba ndiphume emtshatweni, therefore andizoba the first one uba ndiwuyeka umtshato. I have to stay in because I don't want to be a disappointment. And ngumuntu wokuqala ozoba out of the norm, because this seems as if it's the standard. So it's not even about conditioning. You have boxed yourself in that spot. And then now you are comfortable to think about, no, and so on and so forth. But it's you actually closing yourself off because of what you think is the standard.
Correct.
But also, there's nothing wrong with how you are doing your things as long as it's working for you, my darling.
Madam Speaker, I'm sorry. If I can just say something really quick that, I think for us to understand that the best person that know you is you.
Thank you.
Okay, let me say that. And whatever decision that you are willing to make in order for you to navigate your marriage, whether if you're in a marriage or relationship, just know at the end of the day, like, you're going to advocate for yourself first. You first advocate for yourself. Just like if you are looking at yourself outside of yourself with somebody, how do you advocate for this person? I want us to go, because I understand. When you are in this situation, sometimes you can't even see what is in front of you. You understand what I mean? Because you get caught up with the conditioning that we are talking about. Like, oh, maybe I need to give a little more grace, maybe this or that. Somebody asked a question about, again, our experience, it really matters, in whatever situation that we find ourselves. Because once you experience something one time, that is and then you are able to escape that. That is, now you are equipped with that knowledge. So if you see something similar like that next time, you know how to react or how to handle it better. Somebody asked about, if somebody, do you want people to leave the first time that they get hit by their spouse, like if their spouse hit them? So, and I answered that question for them, like, because I know, like, if a man have the intention, or if a man raise his hand and beat you one time, he's gonna beat you again. I've never seen a man that beats somebody one time and then they say, oh, now it's renewed, he's not gonna do it again. So I say, because I know I've experienced something that tells me he will not, first of all, I'm not going to wait for you to beat me, number one. You're going to have to chase after me, number one. But number two is, even you don't even have to raise your hand. Even if I see in your eyes, like, you are thinking about it, honey, you got to go. Experience taught me that. Like, I am not going to sit around and say, oh, but he almost hit me. If you are almost hit me, honey, you gotta go, because I know you're gonna hit me. Maybe something again I'm gonna experience taught me that. So again, when you are experiencing something, guys, pay attention. Not our experience is teaching us something, and we cannot afford not to evaluate our experience and say, if I see something again that looks like it, honey, and we have to have the determination, wherever that is, gotta go.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then what is it? It is a duck.
It definitely must be a duck. I must say, just to add on what the open floor team was saying is, think about it as a parent, if you are a parent. When a child does something and you want to reprimand them, the first time you are gentle on them because you are thinking it was an honest mistake. When they repeat it, you now have an edge to want to discipline them, but you want to give them an opportunity to actually rectify it time and time again. But the first time you wanted to reprimand them, that was the first thought that came to you. So eventually, when it happens and it's reoccurring, you end up literally doing a punishment. It could be corporal or whatever kind of punishment. Now you exercise a sort of punishment because this is something that you have been thinking of from the get-go, but you have just been restraining yourself because you don't want to punish a child for an honest mistake. I want to believe everyone does the same. If he wants to beat you, the first time that thought came, he held himself because he felt it was a bit unfair for the first time. But the day he actually lends a hand, it's because he has been contemplating on it for a very long time. He just had an opportunity and he used it, and he's going to apologize and he's going to say it's the mistake. It was never a mistake, it was intended, because this time he felt he needed to correct you, but the correction came physically.
Shoo. I hear you, Lalo. Mara, my sister Queen, you just came now, my dear. You are the last in. How are you already? My Queen, you are last in. You want these people to kill me? Kolani, and there's Kolani and there's Mabi.
Yo, ladies, I'm glad that I actually scrolled and came across you guys talking about this, really. The women have got to change the conditioning that has happened for decades, for such a long time. You've got to change this conditioning that has stayed with you women for such a long time. You've got to change the language, the tolerance language that exists amongst these things. You know, I told my wife 12 years ago that if I ever cheat on you, I want you to leave me in that instance because it would be the end of everything. I said to her, don't, at that point, I'll probably apologize and say it will never happen and that and that and that. But I'm telling you now at the beginning of the relationship, because I've got the emotional intelligence to understand that if you cheat once, it's the end.
Sure.
There's no two-way, three-way, there's nothing else to shape it into an acceptable form. It's and hence I'm saying we've got to change the narrative, the language, the conditioning. It's the end. And it when you find out 4 years later, it's too late. It ends when I take the action to actually start the cheating. You know, it's gone. It's over. You've got to have the mentality and the mindset and the courage to accept to go to this thing is gone. I have to grieve it. I have to let go of it. And it's just, I can never console you and tell you no, it's no, there's nothing, there's no justification, you know. And what it does is it wastes so much of your time. You lose your youth, you lose years, it opens up toxicity. It's just a train of terrible things that follow. And hence I said to her, when that happens, if that happens, walk away. You will never, it's the end. It will be the end of it. And I'm sorry that some of us men, we will literally do everything in our power to convince you women, no. You know, we can work through this. It's a once-off. It's never going to happen again. It cannot, it may be that, you know, for the next 5 years it won't happen, but it will happen. It will happen. And so I wish women can change, or this conditioning that you have, man. It's set you back years. You lose your youth, you lose so many things, you lose so many opportunities because you're holding on to something.
Sure. I know. I hear you, my brother. I wish Melissa was still here, but unfortunately she left. Because you are probably not. You are probably the least favorites with the gens because of the type of language that you speak. You are probably.
It's the truth.
Thank you so much. You know what? What you're saying, let me add a little bit of something.
Yeah, Bana. What's going on? There's a party there by the Tandy.
It's true what you said, because if someone cheat once, when you forgive, you're not forgiving that person. Remember, you just say, no, I forgive you. Let's continue again. Are you still going to trust that person? You'll never ever trust that person. You're still going to have a heart. I'm still this person unchitezi, and he might do it again with other women
Pony.
or other lady.
Pony, my darling.
So this thing is happening.
Pony. Pony.
Hey,
my dear,
hello.
I have in-laws from Kenya here on this live. Please speak English. I'm not trying to lose in-laws because of your.
Okay, sorry. I'm saying what Kolani said. I agree with him because remember, once a person cheats on his or her marriage, that person will still continue cheating. Let's say, for instance, for example, my husband went out to cheat and I found out my husband was cheating. So he started to say, no, Iponi, forgive me. I've done this. I'll never done this again. So this thing, okay, I forgive him, then we continue. But I'm not going to have a trust anymore from him. Like, I will know that eventually tomorrow...
Now, I personally feel like... I feel like every time you forgive cheating, it takes something out of you. When not voluntarily,
Yes.
you remove something from yourself. You eat yourself up. You are eating yourself by forgiving.
You're eating yourself. This thing, it won't go away. It will never go away.
Yeah.
Every time you're still going to have an anger issues and everything. Fight is still going to be there when you start fighting. Yeah, when you've been cheating with whoever, when you've been not sleeping at home, this thing is still be there. So if a person cheat, everyone has their own choice. If I cheat, it's my choice to cheat. Why should I cheat when I'm married? Why should I cheat when I have my husband? I don't see the reason of doing that from the first time. So the woman who said, no, because we are married, our parents raised us that way, we must forgive, we must...
Now, you know what, Bonnie? It goes back to what Open Floor by Tima was saying. I don't know whether you were here or not during that time. She was saying that, guys, we all have our tolerance level. We all have our rock bottom. And sometimes the reason why people can't relate to what it means to be fed up is because they've never been there, you know? And for as long as Bona, their elasticity is still stretching and stretching and stretching, they will never say, no, I'm enough. You know, so you should allow people enough room to play and dance kwasa kwasa as much as they want until they've had enough, you know? That's just my belief.
Yeah, but that thing sometimes is delay. If you stay with a cheater,
It's delay.
This one won't stop. It will keep on cheating you every day, every time. You're delaying your life, your success. Instead of saving from your kids, investing from your kids, working hard as a woman, moving on, looking beautiful, dress yourself. So maybe there is a man outside there who's looking for a woman like you. Because it means when the person cheats, that person doesn't respect you and doesn't deserve you. If the person cheats, doesn't respect you at all.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And when I Pony, you just double up there because there are people who had not spoken. There's Mabi and there's Queen Anzo.
Mina, if you cheat, I leave. I will
Nah.
never forgive you. That I can come in now.
You can come in. It seems like my bee is just here to make us look beautiful because, as you can see, she's beautiful. My bee, are you here to decorate us, my dear?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, my love?
No. I would like to say the generation of women were raised to not to love the men first. If you look at it as a young age, when you're a teenager, the community, your parents, the family start to teach you how to take care of a man. We're never raised to love ourselves first, and even when you get married, you find out it's all about men. It's all about pleasing the next person, forgetting about yourself. And sometimes when you say you want to leave, look at me, myself, I was supposed to leave that the marriage at 2018, but I did not, just because of the family. The family say, why would you leave after 2 years of getting married? I know you can't. You'll be an embarrassment to the community, to the fellow church members, and everyone else. It's not about you. It's about the other people, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Till today, you're still recycling the pain each and every day.
I know a lady who left after 9 days. You don't know that story of a lady who left after 9 days there in Mpumalanga?
She's my superhero, that one.
Yeah.
And
So
if I can just add, please. I'm listening.
I think maybe Olani's network is disappointing him because I cannot hear him.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, which sometimes you tolerate a lot. There comes a time then when you can't hold it anymore. You are numb. You've got no feelings. You're just destroyed inside. As you're saying in one of your videos that you decay. You've decayed inside you, and it's now late.
Yes, it might be, ne? When I'm a mambi, I feel like somehow in our heads as women. Eh?
It's Mambezi, as in Mambe.
Oh, mambe, okay. Somehow it feels like as women, we need to prove that we have tried beyond reasonable doubt. We have decayed first, and I have nothing left. God, everybody has to see my emptiness first before I can say this is nonsense. Because some of these things that we tolerate, we see it nonsense from the get-go, and we already know that train is going to hit it's gonna be a train smash. But because everybody else around us has not seen it yet, we need to stay here until everybody, Nyangmon, can you see how destroyed I am? Then we're like, oh, Shem Skepsel, you can leave now. By that time, you've finished your life. Hey, Jesus.
It's not even that, it's the fear of it's the part wherein you reserve yourself to please everyone. There's the fear of standing up, because when you do stand up, you are going to have terrible names, because you're going to be proud, you're going to be self-centered, and all those other funny things. And yet, this is wherein you are actually really acknowledging yourself. But because you have to diminish your light, you must allow your in-laws to see the danger that they will never see, because they are happy. Their son is now married. They have someone who's going to be taking care of them and not themselves. You are still waiting for your church members to understand that this man is not who they think they are. And they will never, because they don't get to experience what you are experiencing. The only person who is in the fire is you. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's that saying that the only person who will know how to walk in your shoes is the one who's going to be wearing them. And there's also a flaw in that saying, because if you're a size 7 and I'm a size 5, I'm not going to feel the pain that you were feeling.
Exactly. I'll just be wearing oversized shoes. I'm like, oh, they're even comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I advise some people. So the woman out there.
No, I was saying.
I would say when it gets old, just leave.
Yeah, Salon, what's going on today?
Can I come in a bit?
Okay. Queen Anzo, my darling.
Yeah, my sweetheart, let me come in just for a few minutes. I'm not gonna take too long. You know, Mina, I have a different version. I've got a different story to tell. And like, there's an idiom that says talk is cheap.
True.
Talk is very cheap. Sometimes when you are on the platforms like this, we want to speak with one voice. We want to convince one another.
Yeah.
There's a speaker that went away that was saying it is in the woman's nature to do this, to do that. It's in our nature to, maybe to be gazella. It's in our nature to care. It's in our nature
Extra
to
care.
love, all those things. I don't want to confuse anyone. I want to say this plainly, to say that the way that a male and a female have been wired from the beginning of ages is exactly to...
Queen Anzo, the devil is a liar. You are gonna come back.
Yeah, I'm back.
We lost you there for 1 millisecond.
Yeah, it was like network was trying to, play tricks with me.
You were saying?
But let me be plain in this. Let me be straightforward. If you can look at our male counterparts, the way that they have been, even the physical build is not the same way as us, the women. A man was never meant to have a womb and bear children. A man was never meant, in, like you will say, I'm an old school kind of. A man was never meant to stay and nourish and take care of the kids in the house. We should also ask ourselves. I'm not against. I'm not against the the evolution or the way that things are changing as we go, as we live. I'm not against that trend at all. But I'm just looking at the fact to say that you as a woman, you as a man, you were differently wired for different purposes.
Absolutely.
And one thing for sure, as a man, if you don't know what your purpose, what is it that you've been built for, you will miss even anything that is not, living according to its purpose. It's actually losing its worth. You understand? The same applies to us women. We are completely different. In a sense that the way we take things, the way we swallow things, that's why we are having that thing called a womb. It's a place whereby we nurture a baby from a fetus stage until they come to this world. A man never experiences that, and a man will never ever experience that until the end of ages. So I don't want us to fool, or even if people can take me otherwise, I don't really want to take it to say that, whatever that a man can do, a woman will also do.
I agree with you.
I'll take with my scenario. I stayed for 15 years in my marriage. You know, the day that I decided to pack and go, it was not because of the cheating. The cheating was the main thing that was happening in my marriage. But the day that made me to say, let me walk out of that door, it was due to one reason and one reason alone. I was invisible in the house. I was never ever recognized. I was never talked to. There was no more communication. There was no more respect. There was no more anything that is existing called marriage in the house. But if it was because the first year that cheating happened, the time that cheating happened, it was the first year that I got married.
I have a question, ma'am. Can I ask a question? Do you not
You are
believe
allowed
that?
to.
Do you not believe that your tolerance in that cheating is what actually caused you to disappear in the house? Did that not contribute to your disappearance in the house?
It's my tolerance in the cheating.
Yes, you tolerating the cheating. Was that not what contributed to you actually disappearing?
It was not about the tolerance. It was about the person who thought that he has gone away with so many things. You know, because we, like I say, that we normally get taught to say that the man is the head of the house. So when we give everything, we give all the powers to the men and say that you rule and reign in the house as the head, and then I will submit and hear what you say and follow you and support you. And then the minute that they don't even realize that you are a supporter, then you started becoming a doormat and nothing in front of their eyes. Is then that you see that I'm no more even helping. Whom am I helping who doesn't want to be helped?
What leads to that? Because that's my issue here. What I'm asking you is that what leads to a man seeing you as useless? You understand? Because if you knew your value and you stayed in your value, which is what Kolani was saying, to say, if I cheat once, leave me. But if you didn't know your value and you stayed in your cheating, what makes you disappear?
That one that Kolani said is quite an easy. It is the easiest talk of them all. Because even if you can ask him, Kolani, since he was a young man around his teenagehood, how many women has he met, and the one that he married? I don't want to go there, but it's just an easy talk.
Okay.
Because you know what, this thing is very deep. It's quite very deep with men on their side, because we are not in them. And finally, I want to say, I once had a Promise Magunyane. I'm sorry to mention somebody else in somebody else's podcast, but I once had Promise Magunyane mention a very, a prominent statement. She said, you know what, the day where my husband will lose his duties as a husband in the house, it is the day that I will see that my marriage has ended. But other than that,
what does losing your duties mean? What does losing your duties mean?
You know, she mentioned, let me go into his shoes. She mentioned issues like my husband is taking care of us. He is there when we need him. He's taking care of the children. I can speak to him. We can sit there in the bedroom and talk about our affairs as a family. There's so many things. Maybe it's 70% of them. But maybe if there's 30% of him maybe going and sneaking outside and going to cheat, that's part of maybe the 30%.
My sister, okay, here's my issue now with what you are saying right now. If I'm making 100,000 rand every month, ne? Okay, let me say Kolani is making 100,000 every month. That 100,000 is supposed to be for the family. And then from that 100,000, the family is being taken care of by 50,000. That 50 which Kolani remains with, it is still for the family, ne? So if Kolani is taking from the 50 which is remaining, and he is busy pleasing Bola, Lobo Tima, Bo Mambi, ne? Does that not then affect the well-being of the family? It's just that you just don't want to entertain it. Because I believe cheating is expensive. I believe whatever it is that happens outside the marriage, ne, you can be in denial all you want by saying, as long as it doesn't affect me. But as long as the money is coming out of the pocket of the family, it could be doing something for your children. You understand? But also,
when Madam Speaker, there are people even at all the corners of the world. in different levels of people that have managed to cheat, secretly for years without being noticed in their families.
But that's a loss to your
Because
family.
Better people,
because I'm not entertaining cheating at all. I hate it with all of the best of my heart. But I'm saying that particular person who will be cheating, maybe if he's a top guy, a politician or whatever, will be cheating up, somewhere there in his own space and stealing himself or doing whatever with those concubines or whoever. And then at the end of the day, will be coming back home and greet the wife with a smile and a hug and a kiss and having a time for the family. Until the woman doesn't realize that something is happening somewhere in the corner. There are so many people who manage to hold marriages like that. But the person who will cheat, I'm finishing up because I know
I'm waiting for who. Once Kuti finishes, we're going, okay?
The person who will cheat and at the same time start disrespecting and making you feel like a nobody inside the union called a marriage, is then the person I think that's my opinion, is the person that deserves to be walked out.
Now I believe what cheating affects your pocket, whether you want to admit it or not. Because at the end of the day, if that man was not cheating, that money was going to be used for the betterment of the family. So whether you want to admit it or not, cheating affects the family money.
100%.
Now, what I wanted to ask Queen is, the moment when you realize that you are now invisible, is this the only moment that you are having an aha moment of everything? It's all happening all at once, or you have always been noticing things? You've just not been paying attention, or you've been sweeping them under the carpet, thinking, no, this one is minor. We can work on it. No, this one is not that important. Were you not constantly checking your priority list according to what you think is important at that particular moment, not ignoring the fact that you have noticed something, but you just choose not to pay attention, to give it attention at that particular time? Because when you're saying you realized you were invisible, I don't think it was just a day that you woke up and you found yourself invisible.
Exactly my point.
I don't believe you woke up one morning and you realize, Haibo, he does not see me anymore. He does not recognize me anymore. I'm sure there were several.
Yes, sister. Let me answer your question. You are very right. This thing, it grows like a tree. Let's say you meet year 1 and everything is okay, and then maybe year 3 or 4, the cheater starts cheating. And then this thing, the cheating habits, they grow in a person until they can. Some of the men, I don't know how they do it, but some they can hide it successfully. Some they expose it. They become like small children with a stick to say they just expose their nature, they expose their character, and start not nagging anything inside their household. So that thing, it will gradually grow. But a marriage is so sacred. You cannot just even everyone, including Madam Speaker, she didn't just sleep over the night and say, tomorrow I'm going. We women, it's in our nature. Even Madam Speaker, she's the one of the. I've listened for her for years and years. I've been following her for more than 3 years now. She was trying to build in a way. She was going there and making some loans. Those are the efforts that you make.
My sister, I would not recommend my daughter to do what I did. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm such a loud mouth now. You understand what I'm saying?
I think in your shoes.
The
Let
whole
me finish it
point
this
of
way. I'm finishing it. Your daughter, everyone, like even my sisters, whoever, everybody is not. Somebody mentioned the very important point of shoes, to say that we are not in anybody's else's shoes. You might be wearing size 7. If I'm a size 5, I'm coming to size 7. I wouldn't be feeling that that shoe was painful. So, if very correct, Madam Speaker, we won't allow our daughters or even the next generation to come and experience the bitterness of marriage the way we did. But let everyone make their own discretion and start learning their own lessons, because marriage on its own, it's been it's been the victim of the devil. Always when he sees something beautiful, he's after it.
My sister, aye, that one close it. That one close it. My sister, that one here Satan. When you must suffer. Born ane, if Satan, oh mampili, born ane.
If you are going to say marriage is being
Wawana, if you are going to tell me,
this devil.
Wawana, if you're gonna tell me Satan is attacking my marriage.
The devil, who is the devil?
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
This is the conditioning that has to change. This is the conditioning that I was talking about.
Those experiences are very expensive. We cannot afford to say such things in 2024.
No. My sister, Wabona the devil, ne? Wabona Satan wa Mudimu. Guys, Satan is ngwana Mudimu. The devil, Satan is the child, is an angel, is a child of God. Please remember that. Wait, let me tell you.
We must kill
Satan wa
today.
Mudimu. Whoa,
We must come out.
whoa,
We want
whoa.
to see
Emma
him. We
Bailey.
want to kill him.
You see, if me and you are forming a united front as husband and wife, and the devil wants to attack our marriage, we are a tag team. The devil can't attack my marriage, and when you are enjoying, you are climaxing every day. You are enjoying. You and the devil, you have teamed up against me as the wife, and Amina must be told the devil hates a marriage. So we only knew today when you are cheating that the devil hates marriage. Ah, sorry.
Now I want to see this devil. We must fight. We must kill this devil. You cannot be taking.
Hi, Queen Anzo.
The devil must come out.
I told you in the beginning that I'm gonna rest my case. I'm gonna speak. And
Don't rest your case. We don't want you to rest your case. Why must you rest?
It's
No,
not
in the name
resting.
of no, I don't know. I hate arguments.
Hi, my sister, let's argue.
As the argument, we are talking here. We are not arguing. Now I want you to talk with the devil. We want to kill the devil.
My sister, let's argue. Arguments are good for us. We are stretching our minds.
You say the Bible says in the beginning, Adam and Eve. If the devil, I mean the serpent came to Eve and whispered unto him according to the word of God and said, "This did God say you mustn't eat of this tree or of this fruit?"
Yes.
You know what, Queen?
Give her a chance, Lalo, give Queen a chance.
The devil is making people to
There
do
are many
things.
things.
Then we are fooling ourselves. Then we are lying to ourselves because it is the enemy. You could see the rate of drugs in this world. People, how are reacting having drugs in the drugs. Also, now speak about us being equally.
Ladies.
Wait, I have a problem. First of all, I don't believe in the book that you're talking about. So already, this argument is not going to work with me. Ne?
You're not on the wrong platform, my queen. Queen Anzo Skangala, why are you doing that to us now? She left. Queen Anzo, you left.
Listen to me, ladies.
Hey, Queen Anzo, I'm Mzalwani, my sister. Leave Lalo. Lalo is an atheist alone. Mina, I'm Mzalwani, Queen Anzo. Come back. Come back.
So already these things are different. Ladies, just before I go, I have to believe. Ladies, there is no shame in leaving your husband on the first instance that he cheats. There's no shame in leaving your husband on the first instance that he lays his hand on you. There's no shame in that, unless you went into the marriage with certain ulterior motives, etc. But there's absolutely no shame, and you women, you've got to start supporting one another and telling one another the truth instead of shaming one another when you come to one another about these problems. Don't tell your friend you to know, Chomi, hang in there. No, go and say this. There are things that a counseling will not fix. A therapist will not change a man or stop a man from cheating. It's wrong. That thing is wrong. Once it's done, it's done. It's over. There's no therapy. There's no. I don't believe that there's a therapist who's going to change your man for you or convince him to not cheat. Once you cross that line, you've crossed into another world. So let's change the mentality. Let's stop the tolerance. These tolerance levels that are there. It's too much, man. It's damaging. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
You see now, Bukola,
Hello.
I want to kill.
Guys, I have to leave. Yes, today I'm babysitting. I have to leave.
I want to kill the devil with my own hands tonight. No ways. We cannot allow this guy called the devil to be freelancing in our lives, doing Mama Tanda and making excuses for everyone because the devil is doing everything.
And at the expense of women, I'm raising a daughter, and my intention is to create an environment that will enable my daughter to make informed decisions based on my actions, based on the manner that I treat my wife, based on the manner that I treat my sister, my mother, the women around me. We've got to start living. We've got to start living honestly if we want to create good creatures, not these kids of today that we have, And
can I just
it all starts with.
Sorry, but can I just piggyback on what you're saying? Hi, everyone.
Hi, darling.
Yes,
I believe strongly that cheating is low vibrating energy. There is no intellect or stimulation linked to cheating. It's laziness, right? And so if someone wants to come in whether it's spiritual or biblical, and want to say the devil is doing this, the devil is doing that, there is no part in the Bible where God doesn't want good things for us, you know. And therefore God would not allow the devil to dance in your marriage for years only because the devil is using your spouse. And so just to piggyback on the part that we speak about daughters, I've never been married. I don't have kids. I am in a very healthy relationship now. However, the reason I've held on to myself for so long is because I was raised by strong Black women. Women who did not center men in their lives. And I think it's very important that in this conversation about cheating, about begazelaring, is that men must not be the center of your life as a woman.
Yes.
Men are not the be all and end all. Tsena skolo, have hobbies, have friends, go out there, whether you want to learn how to do pottery or knitting and join a stokvel, let it not be the only thing you consume in life, and your only interest is how to be a good wife to a man. Because one day you will find this partner that you are equally yoked with, but this partner will learn and realize that you want them in your life, but you don't need them. Your life is not hanging on to their existence, what they bring, what they do not bring. So I think it's very important. I don't want to over intellectualize the conversation, but it's so important that women go out there to experience life. The one thing I envy the most about Amadota is that Amadota love themselves. Amadota will do what is serving to themselves first. If he says, "Mfunge kawash na machita today, uyakula awuguli, uzothela empanado ngekawash na machita," you know? So I think it's very important that we don't center men in our lives. We have our own hobbies, we create spaces, we educate ourselves. Also, I think it's very important that we read that novel about the girl who lived in an unknown land, because it opens up your imagination to not the stereotypical man will cheat doctrine that we've so absorbed throughout the years. But I think it's so important that people that are raising daughters and sons, umjolo is not everything. Lenyalo is not everything. We can live and coexist with each other, yes. It's nice, but it's not everything. We've got so much more to live for. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the platform.
Thank you so much, my darling. From what you are saying, in a nutshell, decenter men, live your life to the fullest, and that the man who is for you will come. If it doesn't, it's still fine. You can still live without one.
1,000,000%.
Amen. Somebody is saying it's rude for me to be interrupting you guys while you're speaking. I am sorry when I'm African brownie, because they're also interrupting me when I speak. So I'm sorry. Guys, we need to hear somebody who has not yet spoken. Guys, I'm babysitting. And by the way, I'm babysitting my own children. I get men say they're babysitting when they are taking care of their children and there's no one else. I'm babysitting my children and we need to wrap up, guys.
They babysit, imagine.
Yeah, so I'm also babysitting my kids. So we need one who has not yet spoken to wrap it up, and then, because I need to go babysit.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to actually coordinate adults. You know, like, I mean, seriously, like, everybody wants to say something, everybody want to talk at the same time. You know, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Hey.
But I was going to say, you know, I admire people who are readers, right? Because, you know, there are people like because readers and travelers, their level of understanding is another level, right? Someone like me, I do not like to read unless you're gonna pay me for it, right? However, though, I think for people who like they don't that like to like read or travel, you know, like they don't have any level of exposure other than whatever is happening in their house. I think self-reflection is so important in a way that no matter how much story will be out there, you yourself are a story. Your life is a story, right? And if you see it that way and you are able to go inside of yourself, really, especially if you're living for so long and you've seen so much and you have gathered a lot of experience, you need to really evaluate those experiences. Because I say to people, it will not matter the kind of experience that you have, how you get to this experience, how this experience show up in your life. If you don't evaluate your experience, it's a waste of time. okay? Because the evaluated experience is what actually that is gonna give you a brand new story of yourself. You'll be able
Amen
to
to
see
that.
yourself outside yourself. So
Thank
that
you.
in your next step that you are taking, you'll be able to stand on business like nobody's business. Yeah? You
Yeah.
will not be scared. Like, there are plenty of women out here, okay, but I'm only me over here, right? And I'm gonna stand on me. And we are not going to give in to the idea of because you're a single mother, nobody will want you. Okay, do I say you that I want somebody? Yeah, okay. And then the idea of if you cheat you one time, try to work on it. No, experience have taught me they will never stop. If they hit you one time, people make mistake. No, I will be your first and last mistake. I will never give you another opportunity after that. Even the intention, even if I catch you blinking too much, and I realize your blinking is gonna give me some kind of punch, honey, I will not give you that. That's it for me. I'm very, again, we our own story. We gotta use our own story to reevaluate our life and put ourselves on a level that nobody will play on your face. Okay? The only time you allow people to play on your face is if you yourself, you don't take yourself seriously. You don't believe in what you are putting out. You don't even believe in yourself. You don't believe in the suffering that you suffer for you to get to where you are right now, because again, it takes work to actually reborn yourself and parenting yourself to the adults that you are. Those things take work. And if you don't want those work to just go for wasted, really, you gotta find within yourself to be enough and to know that whoever it is, it will not matter the situation that I'm in. Because if you cheat and you leave, the next person is gonna cheat. No, my next person is not gonna cheat. You know why? Because it is me. Yeah, in me, experience me now. You are not gonna cheat because you better don't let me know that you and the way you are moving to, I will know. Because I'm not just gonna be with anybody and say, well, he would cheat. No, you won't cheat. I know I'm not gonna cheat, and if I know that I'm not gonna cheat, I know you are not gonna cheat. You know why? Because you are with me now, I'm with you now. So we both know that we are not gonna cheat on each other because we know the consequences that's gonna come from that. You are not gonna hit me. You know why? Because I'm not gonna hit you. Yeah. So because we both know now that we are not gonna hit each other, if you dare try to hit me, you know the consequences is gonna come from that.
Which goes back to what Kolani was saying, to say, if I cheat, leave me, because when you cheat, I will leave. It's simple,
Exactly.
It's that
the
simple.
consequences of the action is so, we both understand that you have to be on that level.
You understand
Your
what is at
emotional
stake.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, your emotional intelligence has to be intact to the point that you're going to trust yourself enough that you're going to be with somebody who's self-trusting as well. Not somebody who have a whole lot of self-doubt. They don't know what they are doing. They are looking for the next one that they're going to break down. You are not going to be that woman. You know why? Because you already figure yourself out and you stay on business. I like women who stay on business. Stay on business of you being a woman and be a phenomenal woman. That's it. You don't have to be self-doubt yourself, and don't let the world self-doubt you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my darling. I see Lalo here already saying 15 minutes, guys. I am babysitting. Okay, can Mutondi speak? Because she's the only person who has not spoken. And then after Mutondi, you better not speak for 30 minutes. This is not a church service, so this is not a church service, Mutondi.
I'm gonna keep it brief. Yeah, no, I've been listening, and some of these perspectives are really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it's very sad because as women, we have put ourselves so low. Like the bar is low. It's low and it keeps going lower. And it speaks to the standards. Like once you lower the standard goes low and it keeps going lower. And now we've put ourselves in a position where it started when men and women, were faithful to each other, and then you're like, okay, as I don't know, okay, and then it escalates, and then
You
you're
did
like,
it once.
okay, even if I know, even if they when they do it, they must do it very far from me, and that's a sign of respect, and then it keeps going lower. Yeah, even if my husband is cheating, I will not leave him. I will not leave my marriage just because
of another woman. You know, it keeps going lower, and I don't know how low it can go, because I mean,
Mutondi,
bottom there's basements as well.
basically what you are saying there resonates so much, or it's aligned with what Melissa was saying earlier on, to say when she got married, she thought that a lot of things were deal breakers for her, but as soon as she got into the marriage, she's like, oh, I can actually forgive this, I can actually forgive this, which goes back to exactly what you are saying, to say the bar starts being up there, and then you will keep taking it lower and lower, and it's only us women who do that nonsense.
Yeah. And yeah, if you know the scenario of the frog, I think
Yeah.
where they say, you know, when the frog is in the water and then you turn up the heat, and then it keeps adjusting to the heat, it keeps adjusting
Until it
to
is
the
cooked.
heat, to a point where now it can't even jump out of the pot anymore, because it's just so hot. And this is happening to women left, right, and center. You cannot argue with me that a cheating man is normal when women are landing up in psychiatric hospitals, when they need to carry the whole weight of the marriage. It's not sustainable. The other person will benefit, you know, at the cost of another person's life. And if we really value our lives, then we'll make decisions that will protect us and our families, because just like you rightly said, men love themselves. If they want what they want, they will do what they want, and they will not compromise for nobody. You will not tell them you are not going out and they won't go out. Never. So we need to exercise that kind of love. Why are we sacrificing ourselves so much? Why are we burning ourselves in order to make other people comfortable? We need to put that standard very high, so that a man must work in order to keep you in this marriage. He has to work. He has to show up. You know, and I don't know who told us this thing of how we must just minimize ourselves, minimize our dreams. There are women who, even when the men tell them you can't work, as my wife, other men will be seeing you out there, so you can't work. You must stop your job and whatever. Who told us that we can compromise to that level?
My sister, you are still saying her husband. I interviewed a girl who has a boyfriend. She even has a tattoo of her boyfriend here. The boyfriend said she must not work because people will be shellering her at work.
No, I can tell you for $100. Actually, don't give me anything. Where that thing is gonna end up, like, you know, the formula of where that thing is going. You know, so it's just a matter of time.
Guys, I have to love you and leave you. Yes. Guys, you know what? They're gonna give me 0 rating for the babysitting. Guys, I have to love you and leave you. These people are not happy with me.
Oh, you are babysitting.
I'm babysitting and they're looking at me here. Ish.
That's easy.
Guys, thank you so much, Mutondi. I really appreciate your perspective. And like, it's like, I'm glad, Ori, between you and Melissa, it's from one married woman to another. Olani, thank you so much. I appreciate your input, my brother. Lalo, as usual, I love you long time. Tima, it was good to have you back because you've not been here forever. And also Queen Anzo in her absentia. I'm sorry, my sister, if we offended you. We are sorry. Okay, next time we will try to do better. We will not be coming at you like a ton of bricks. We believe in God. Also, please come back.
I'm gonna kill. Please mention I'm gonna kill the devil.
Sure, you are making things worse.
Queen must come back. Queen must
I will
come back.
DM her. I will DM her, guys. Guys, for those who only joined in the live late, please go over on YouTube and watch the whole thing all over again. And those who have been watching and they've missed some points, valid points, you're more than welcome to go YouTube, watch the whole thing all over again. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you and good night. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Me, I
Let's
want
go.
to kill the devil.
Aye, when you are banned, you're gonna be banned from this live.